Robert Aitken, a Scottish immigrant who arrived in Philadelphia in 1771, published the first American edition of the King James text. Released in 1782, the Aitken Bible remained the only English Bible printed in America for the next 8 years. Aitken obtained a congressional resolution praising his Bible as a pious and laudable undertaking, subservient to the interests of religion, and an instance of the progress of arts in America. It was the first and only time Congress had recommended a Bible. Perhaps in order to save on the cost of printing, Aitken did not include the Apocrypha in his Bible. He indicated his address on the title page, as was customary at the time, and as a way to stimulate sales. Philadelphia, printed and sold by R. Aitken at Pope's Head, 3 doors above the coffee house in Market Street. Unfortunately, by the time Aitken released his Bible, commercial ties with Europe had resumed, and the American market was flooded with King James Bibles produced in England. Aitken had printed about 10,000 copies, and his sales did not cover his costs. Of the considerable number of copies he printed, fewer than 40 survive. The 1790s marked a turning point in the history of Bible printing in the United States. The number of printers who produced entire Bibles or separate editions of the New Testament increased exponentially, and their location covered a large area of the New Republic. In 1790, 8 years after Robert Aitken printed the first English Bible in America, 2 different editions were released in Philadelphia. The first one was printed by the Irish refugee Matthew Carey, and is remembered as the first Catholic Bible produced in the New World. The Bible displayed here is the second American edition of the King James text. It was published by William Young, a Scottish immigrant who had come to Philadelphia in June 1784, and opened a printing shop and bookstore. Young kept his costs low by using a font slightly smaller than Aitken's and cramming 73 lines of text into each full column. He needed only 40 sheets of paper for each copy of his Bible. Aitken's Bible had only 50 lines to a full column, but filled 61 sheets of paper per copy. Isaiah Thomas was the first American printer to produce a deluxe edition of the King James text. Acclaimed by its contemporaries as the most beautiful book printed in America, it was both the first folio and the first illustrated Bible created in the New World. Thomas has built a solid reputation as a patriot during the Revolutionary War, and was one of the most important printers and publishers of the New Republic. He started his career as a 6-year-old apprentice, and during his long professional life, he produced over 900 books, edited newspapers and almanacs, founded the American Antiquarian Society, and authored the History of Printing in America, a monograph still used today. To enhance the quality of his publications, Thomas built his own paper mill and bindery. To illustrate the Bible, he commissioned 4 New England artists to produce 50 copper plate engravings. Designed in the Rococo style much favored during the Enlightenment, these images were meant to add a note of refinement to the printed volumes and make them more attractive. Thomas used the same plates for the folio edition and the more affordable quarto he released the same year. He issued the following advertisement for the quarto edition. The price to subscribers shall be only $7. The publisher will receive 1/2 of the sum, or 21 shillings, in the following articles, that is, wheat, rye, Indian corn, or pork. Isaac Collins published a quarto edition of the King James Bible in 1792. He offered an attractive payment plan to potential subscribers, as did his competitor Isaiah Thomas. Collins' initial plan was to attract 3,000 orders. To stimulate sales, he announced in 1790 or in 1791 that he would add to the biblical text a reprint of the popular concordance compiled by John Donham in 1631. He targeted all Protestant denominations and was prepared to customize his Bible according to specific requests. For those who objected to the inclusion of the Apocrypha or to the endnotes authored by the Swiss theologian Jean-Frédéric Osterwald, Collins was willing to issue Bibles consisting of the Old and New Testament alone. His project was endorsed by the Presbyterians, the Episcopalians, and the Baptists, not to mention his fellow Quakers, who purchased 4/5 of the 5,000 copies he finally printed. Collins showed more concern for the accuracy of the printed text than any other contemporary American publisher. His Bible was reprinted page for page from the Oxford Quarto edition of 1784, but the proofs were read against 3 other quartos published in Cambridge, in London, and in Edinburgh. When the 4 English texts did not agree, Collins consulted scholars able to check them with the original Hebrew and Greek readings. To make sure no errors remained in his printed Bible, Collins used his own children as proofreaders and rewarded them with £1 for every misprint they detected. They went through the proofs 11 times and missed only 1 broken letter and a misplaced punctuation mark. Completed in April 1792, this was the first Bible printed in New York and the second folio Bible produced in America. Its publication was approved in April 1790 by the New York State Senate and Assembly in a resolution that praised the printers for promoting the industry and manufactures of America. The folio was promoted as a genuine American edition of a Bible first published in Edinburgh in 1778, and the largest and cheapest ever proposed to be printed in the United States. The Bible was printed in 40 installments or numbers over a period of 2 years. The price for subscribers was 25 cents per number, with a free number added to every group of 12. A list of subscribers was distributed with the last number. It includes about 1,300 names and provides a cross-section of American society and life. George Washington is listed as the first subscriber, but next to him, in alphabetical order, we find carpenters, shoemakers, stonecutters, a door opener to Congress, masons, weavers, Supreme Court Justice John Jay, William Samuel Johnson, the president of Columbia College, a wheelwright and a chairmaker, several ladies, the Honorable Henry Knox, Secretary of War, a sailmaker, a tailor, and many, many more. This is the 3rd folio Bible printed in America, and the first one to be issued in Philadelphia. 18 engravings embellish Berryman's large folio. The first 15 illustrate scenes from the Old Testament and include 2 maps. There are 2 illustrations in the New Testament and only 1 in the Apocrypha. 1/3 of the engravings are copied from Isaiah Thomas' 1791 Bible. The border was changed and the inscription mentioning Isaiah Thomas was naturally dropped, but the images are identical, though executed by different artists. Unlike his predecessors, Jacob R. Berryman did not print a more affordable quarto edition to accompany his folio. In order to decrease the cost, he simply omitted the illustrations from some of the folio copies he had printed.